It is my great joy to introduce Alexis Santos to the JumpCloud community. Alexis has been in the field of mindfulness and meditation since 2001. After graduating from Harvard University in 1995, he spent several years in medical school before leaving his chosen career as a doctor to seek out a different path. It was while traveling in India that he was introduced to insight meditation. Alexis teaches meditation at retreat centers around the world. He is featured on the 10% Happier meditation app and is co-founder of the Open Door meditation community in Portland, Maine. Alexis's teaching style is natural and uncrafted. He brings a practical, intuitive, and compassionate approach to the development of wisdom. So, Alexis, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us here at JumpCloud today.
Great, thanks, Tom, and good to be with all of you. And all the various locations that you're tuning in from. So just a pleasure and a privilege, honor to be with you.
So we know that this is Mental Health Awareness Month here in May. IT teams are often the engine that powers everything from small to medium-sized enterprises because their role and their value cannot be overstated. I spent a 20-year career in IT, and I know exactly how critical to every business's operation the person is who manages their IT resources. As IT admins cover, a fully remote world, as well as an in-person world, as well as hybrid models and things along those lines, the job isn't an easy one. And certainly we understand over the last 3 years, the pandemic has changed a lot of the organization's approach to work. So that it feels like it's always on in a lot of ways. In a recent edition of JumpCloud's Small to Medium Enterprise IT Trends report, we found that IT teams in today's subject matter, in today's small to medium enterprises, are overwhelmed and working overtime, though they are pursuing better work-life balance. We're all proactive folks in IT. You think about how to avoid the next crash, how to avoid the next problem, how to deal with all of those kind of things. You think about what you need in your storeroom in order to be proactive when a laptop doesn't work. Why not think about what you need in mental wellness proactively before the next crash, right? And, Alexis, thank you so much for joining us today. Can you give us a better introduction to yourself than the one I just gave? Because I feel like you probably know yourself a lot better than I do.
Well, maybe I know how crazy the mind can be and how easy it gets tipped into overwhelm and anxiety and fears and worries. So in some ways, my introduction feels a little bit like I'm a human being on this journey from birth to however long we have. I think, what you offered was lovely. And, this is my passion to both know in some ways what is most fundamental and direct, which is our own immediate experience, and to talk about that. Right, it's what I do now for my life is and now it's interesting. Mindfulness used to be this kind of a little bit strange term, or awareness practices. It felt a little bit almost like a woo-woo, like it's out there, it's a strange thing. You have to explain yourself why you might be doing it. And now it seems somehow in the last few years particularly, there has been a very deep acknowledgement about the nature of the mind and what is true health. It's not purely physical, it's clearly not material, right? Material wealth isn't well-being. And we're often given, tools and practices about the body and how to live life. And yet the actual tools to take care of the mind, because they're subtle, and even knowing the mind is a little bit hidden from us, right? How do we actually take care of the mind? That's what mindfulness practices are all about, and what today's discussion, I hope we'll kind of cover some of this terrain.
That's fantastic. And thank you so much for spending the hour with us today. I really appreciate you joining us here at JumpCloud. This is a topic near and dear to my own heart. Mental health challenges are constantly part of any IT person's life. Yes. I think that's a great opportunity for us to talk about how we can get better as admins by studying our own selves.
Please subscribe and check out more content from us.